clash in the NFC South. It's the Buccaneers and the Dirty Birds coming up next.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former Illini kicker Chase McLaughlin to get us started. And we are underway from Atlanta. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing from the outset is Penix. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They're looking to throw. Penix into the hands of London. It's a gain of 6, but not enough as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Mayfield on play action. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Mayfield now. And this throw will be intercepted. Hooked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
To the air, Penix sets up the screen to Robinson. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9 here. They'll throw with Penix. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Evans comes in motion right. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Evans. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Mayfield looks to throw. There's Evans again, complete. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The decision for Todd Bowles, and he says let's go for it on 4th down. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. His throw incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Mayfield. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. In motion right, Evans. To throw, Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Here's Penix. That one deep for London. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Concentration, so key on a ball like that. It's hard. I know how difficult it is, but that's a ball you've got to come up with. And instead, a big play is going to slip through their fingers, literally and figuratively.
Penix working out of the gun here. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The rookie from Washington putting it right where he needs to. He's got his guys a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. And looking to throw, Penix. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Penix. And that is incomplete.
How about the show put on by these two defenses in this first half? The fireworks don't have to be just offensively. Neither one of them given an inch, and that's good coverage once again there to force another 4th down.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs ready to take over once again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
In motion, the tight end. From the gun, Mayfield. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Mayfield. This one taken in by Otten. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, it's London. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Penix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On the give, here's Robinson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
You're looking to throw Penix. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Play fake. Mayfield. Left side here. That's complete to Godwin. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. From the 20, here's 2nd and 5. Mayfield to throw it. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He completes it to Evans. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 4. They'll go up the middle with White. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Mayfield down. A quick pass here to Godwin. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Here's Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. The Falcons ready to take over. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
A play fake. Now Penix. This pass is caught by London. And they work this out past the 25. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Handoff now to Robinson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
To the air, Penix. He's got his man, London, right side. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. They'll throw with Penix. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as he'll get this down to the 47-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Back to the ground with Robinson. Shreds the tackle. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Second and 11. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Penix. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing, Mayfield. And this is caught by Evans. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver
and it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Mayfield. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A run up the middle with Irving. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. 3rd down and 1. To throw, Mayfield. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Mayfield looks to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. Certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him think.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
He's got room to roam. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Mayfield with it once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And his throw is incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone,
Tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And his kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Second down and 8. Now Penix. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They're looking to throw Penix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the 27, Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They run out of the gun with Irving. Oh, fighting off the defender. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Mayfield to throw it. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. On the handoff, this is Irving. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Irving. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. In motion left, Godwin. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 29-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Irving. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. On the ground, it's Urban. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
White. Going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Irving is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different?
True.
You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard. And looking to throw, Penix. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
He saw the pressure and he got out, but he never got upfield. And the defense, they took full advantage of a rookie mistake there. They were able to add a big loss on the sack.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To the air, Penix. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Robinson up the middle. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll throw with Penix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got his pass-catching tight end, that's Pitts. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Touchdown Falcons! Darnell Mooney, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have evened the ball game with a chance to take the lead here in the final minute of this 3rd quarter. Well, they were down 6 at intermission, but they quickly erased that deficit. And, Charles, now they've got a chance to take the lead.
And while being down 6 points, obviously not an insurmountable lead, tying a game up, that just relaxes a whole team, doesn't it? And now when you add the extra point and you go up, you really feel good about what you've accomplished.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Buccaneers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Once again, it's Irving. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 72 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. This is caught by Evans. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. A run with Irving. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The end result, 21 yards.
But they certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
They'll run with Irving, and he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Buccaneers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
So a big play coming now for the Bucs as they'll go for 2. Mayfield going to try to throw for the 2. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Operating from the gun, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd and 6. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And this offense on third down today, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Penix. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
2nd and 1. Short throw caught by Pitts. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as he'll get the ball down inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's complete to Mooney.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
2nd and 4. There's Mooney with another catch. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing again, Penix. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. Over the middle, caught by London. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Penix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On the bootleg, it's Penix. Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Michael Penix, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Coup for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And he'll be taken down right there at the 38. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
The tight end in motion right. Mayfield looks to throw.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Here comes third and the length of the football. They'll try and run here with Irving. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Mayfield to throw it. Finding Otten once more. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And his throw here's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. And this is caught by Evans. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, 31 yards. And the Buccaneers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout. And that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. To the air, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do.
lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
McLaughlin for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 2 touchdowns, 2:19 to play. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores. Penix working out of the gun here. He finds Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Being chased out left. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
He's going to let it fly. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Michael Penix taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The Buccaneers offense and Baker Mayfield set to take over once more. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Handoff running left, Irving. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 4. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And he is going to have a Bucs first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Two yards still to go. Third down now. Mayfield to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.